Good morning. It's Dr. Deborah, and this is another in my series, my new series called Dr. Deborah's Dream. So, in these shorter videos, I'm trying to teach by doing and share theories about dreams and finding meaning in dreams by sharing with you my experience of finding meaning in some of my dreams. So, people learn through stories, and so that's what I do in these videos. So, I had just had to share this one. It happened the other day. And the context is always important. Everything is always important because remember, up to 90% of you, you don't even know. So, whatever you're doing during the day, whoever you're attracted to, why you buy a certain thing, you only know about maybe 20% of the reason. There's always something deeper going on. And our unconscious purposely uses mysterious ways and images and symbols and metaphors purposely to get around the mind because the mind is defensive in nature. It just wants to keep proving what it already thinks it knows. So I had woken up and I felt a little anxiety, which I haven't had in a long time. I had had a couple of drinks the night before, and sometimes that will cause me to have a little bit of anxiety in the morning. So when I woke up, instead of resisting it, I allowed it. So I just said, okay, I'm feeling anxious. And as soon as I said that, it made me relax a little bit. My cat had woken me up early too, so I was a little irritable. But I eventually, as I allowed the anxiety, I slipped back into sleep. And this is when I had this dream. I am almost, there are dark horses and they're coming towards me, but not in a way that I'm in danger, more like I'm watching a race. And so there are dark horses, and on one of them is Dr. Oz. So immediately I was like, oh, cringe. Oh my God, he had to show up in my dream. So for some reason, as I'm watching it, I am trying to will him to pass another person that's actually winning ahead. And I'm really focusing on Dr. Oz riding this horse, he starts to slip back and he falls off the back of the horse and he gets trampled. And for some reason, I think another character, Marjorie Taylor Greene, is there and she sabotaged the race. So that's it. I woke up and immediately, of course, I wanted to dismiss it. And as soon as you want to dismiss a dream, that's resistance. That's when you really want to explore it. So this dream is quite complex, and there were three images that I journaled about and I explored and tried to find out what do I think about these images. And it's Dr. Oz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and the dark horses. So immediately you could think that there's a four dark horsemen apocalypse piece to this. And I think that's another image I'm going to explore down the road because often my dreams have this collective tinge. And that makes sense because part of my purpose and mission is to really help others realize that their own self reflection impacts the whole collective consciousness raising. So, okay, let's talk about Dr. Oz. My associations with him are cringe, but complex because he was one of the people that Oprah, who I really respect, really launched his career. And I assume that he's basically a good guy and wanted to do something different and really did have beliefs in empowering people to make health decisions that were, to become educated consumers. So there are lots of alternative methods that are more natural, for example. But clearly he became corrupt. The fact that he had to testify in front of Congress and he pushed products that were, so he really became is a symbol of how greed can corrupt and how money can corrupt. So a little backstory, a couple of months ago, I discovered that in my midlife, after unraveling and sort of restarting my life, that I have my relationship with money has changed and it has become negative. And I realized that one of my blocks is a fear of what having more money will do to me, how it'll in fact impact my character. And it sounds silly, but that's sort of beneath the surface. And that's something that I can be in my own way. So in the dream, Dr. Oz is on this racehorse and he slips off and he gets trampled by these dark horses. And so as I journaled, the meaning that I came to have is that this worry about how money might change me. And in fact, I do need money in order to help more people. And so I have that conflict that there has been a shift. And that makes sense because I've been doing a lot of work on repairing my relationship with wealth. And so it makes sense that he, sort of represented this block and it got trampled. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene is an interesting character, not someone I like or respect. However, she has this energy of being a troublemaker, right? Just for being a troublemaker because she likes attention. So, what I came to see her role, this part of me in the dream, was that she's like a trickster character. And she got in there and made trouble that I kind of needed. So Hermes is the Greek god known as a guide of souls, but he shows up as a trickster often to trick us into consciousness raising and to trick us into growth and put us in situations that really challenge us and get us over our own egos, etc. So I'm really touching on a lot of different characters because there's another kind of projection where if there's a person that a negative person that shows up in your dream, it's not always that, oh my gosh, do I have an inner Marjorie Taylor Greene? No, sometimes it's that we need to be more like that. So, not in that version, but our psyche will call on an exaggerated version. Like with Dr. Oz, I respected the beginning of, and then he became corrupted. So there's both this sort of admiration and also disdain for him. And so in those sorts of projection, my unconscious is saying, when it comes to Marjorie Taylor Greene, that another part of me that's a troublemaker, and I do have a rebellious spirit, needed to get involved to help me have this shift. And then really interesting things have happened this week around money, like money has shown up. And so sometimes you can't see it on the outside, but also the outside can't change until there is an inner shift, or sometimes the outside can help with the inner shift, but they're connected. So I just wanted to share that with you to again bring some concepts to life, and sometimes our mind wants to say a dream means something, and if it's too comfortable in its meaning, it's not right because that's the mind just trying to prove what its own opinions already. And our unconscious and our dreams are always meant to bring us a new insight. So I hope that helps. I hope you learned something about your own dreams and maybe you're entertained too. So take care till next time.